Okay, so now what happens when the Fool meets the Empress? Here he's been indoors and it's quite serious and it can be heavy going. And so one of the reasons for doing this whole outline is that it means that you're sort of understanding the nature of the individual cards, and you're also considering how they relate to each other and how 2 or 3 cards can combine, and maybe they combine well, or maybe there's a problem combining them. Because the Empress and the Magician, out of doors, nice yellow background, and so probably the Empress and the Magician can relate to each other quite well. She's sitting in a garden on a comfortable chair, reclining, and so she may represent a period of rest and recuperation after the Fool deals with or has to deal with the High Priestess. So this Empress card can represent peace, relaxation, enjoyment, maybe good food, eating and drinking, and even though she's on her own, somehow she seems quite sociable. And so especially after the High Priestess. And so what does the Empress say to the Fool, or what does the Fool ask the Empress? Maybe he asked the Empress about what the High Priestess told him, and she would have a different take, because the High Priestess's position may be life is a school and you're in life to learn lessons, whereas the Empress may be, her position may be, yes, sure, life is a school, but life is also a party, and it's a social event. And whereas the High Priestess might be okay on her own and might like isolation, the Empress wants people. She wants people around and she wants to interact with people. So the High Priestess may teach the Fool about how to live on one's own and how to be alone, how to be isolated. The Empress teaches him about how to get along with people, how to be sociable, how to treat other people so that everybody benefits and everybody knows that they're benefiting and everybody's happy. Whereas the High Priestess may not be that concerned with being happy, because her position may be you have rights or you have duties and responsibilities and you're here to work. The Empress can say, life is a beach where you sunbathe and you hang around in the afternoon and listen to music and socialize with other people, and you enjoy it, because why not? Life is not just hard work and life is not just responsibility. You're supposed to be good to yourself and relax as well. So maybe the Empress tells the Fool to settle down, and maybe he hangs around there for a couple of days and rests. And then she says to him, okay, life is for resting as well, but at a certain point you have to start working again, you have to keep moving. And so I'm going to send you, perhaps says the Empress, I'm going to send you on the next stage of your journey, and the next stage of the journey you're going to meet the Emperor. Now, Emperor and Empress can go together. They can represent a married couple, but they seem to be related. The Empress is somebody in charge of a large organization as well, and the Emperor is more than a king, because he runs an empire, which is not just a country. It can be a number of different countries that are all joined together, and they're ruled by his iron will or by his power. Because how does the Empress rule? People love her, people like her. And you know what it's like. If there's somebody you like, you'll do things for them. Or you're happy to go out of your way to cooperate. And the Empress can represent somebody who is popular. And at the same time as I'm saying this, we ought to remember the Empress upside down, somebody who is unpopular, who abuses her position, who just parties, and so on. So you can take a look at all these cards, or as we go through them, and wonder what's going to happen when the card is reversed. So the Emperor, we've got here, this is on a plain or a flat piece of land. There's a nice little river behind. The Emperor seems to be on top of a mountain, and he's quite high up. So the fool can easily get to these three, but in order to reach the emperor, there's a certain amount of physical effort required, because the emperor's on top of a mountain, and so the fool has to climb in order to reach the emperor. And we have some kind of red sky here, so maybe he arrives at the emperor, in front of the emperor, and maybe he needed permission to get there. We can imagine there were guards and other people who had to be bypassed or got through or got past before he reaches the emperor. So this is somebody who has bodyguards, or who has a personal assistant who is going to make sure that only people who are worth it, or people who maybe have something to offer the emperor, make it through and actually get to talk to him. You know, because some people, like if you call up the head of General Motors, you're probably not going to get to talk to him. You call up the White House, you're not going to get to talk to the president, because other people are going to stop you, and they're going to be like barriers in your way to reaching the emperor. So if you want to talk to the emperor, he isn't the kind of person who's easy to get access to. But let's say the fool manages. He climbs the mountain and he arrives. This reddishness can be a red sky in the evening, promising a nice day ahead. Or it could be maybe he's climbed all night and he gets to the emperor and it's first thing in the morning, and there's a red sky in the morning. And there's the old story about red sky in the morning, sailor's warning. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. So we've got an idea. The emperor can be very, very good if it's last thing at night. Or he can be very, very, don't want to be very, very bad, but he can be difficult, because here we have a rough day ahead if this is the red sky in the morning. Or else we've got a period of relaxation after the effort in getting up here. It's a red sky at night, so tomorrow is going to be a good day. There's going to be a good interview with the emperor, or the emperor's in a bad mood, and you've arrived in front of him at maybe what is a bad time. So this is maybe a good time to stop, and next we'll discuss or consider what happens with the emperor, and then what the emperor tells the fool before he sends him on the next stage of the journey, which is to meet the Hierophant.